Good evening, everyone, and welcome to all. Tonight we have eSailing Nations Cup Italy versus Sweden. I'm Alberto Carraro, your host for tonight. Here with me is Christian Harding from Sweden, so it will be definitely a match that will have a lot of biased people here, right?
For sure, but I think it's going to be a lovely race, and I'm really looking forward because your Italian team has been really strong this year so far.
Yeah, it is true, it is true. Absolutely. And we are here with the first match of the night, where we have Lorenzo 42 and Sosi from the Italian. You tell me something about the Swedish now.
So we have from the Swedish side, we have Swede Sailor,
Hmm.
who's a Dragon and Express Sailor from the south, and we have CCO, who's our female player, and she's a sprint sailor usually. So we're looking forward to this. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 30 seconds to the start. What is your prediction for tonight?
I think it's going to be a very tight race. It's
Hmm.
going to be probably pushing it all the way. So you can't like make any big mistakes or stuff like this because then you're going to be a bit in trouble.
Hmm.
And the start is here, which is looking good for the Italians right now with 5 seconds to go.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting.
So this is an amazing start for the Italian with Lorenzo in the lead, Sosi in control over Sisio and Sweet Sailor. Sweet Sailor a little bit in the back, and he will be struggling a little bit. But to be honest, the really, really low wind intensity is slowing all the boats down, and Sweet Sailor probably will be the first one to reach the wind.
Yes, because it's coming some wind on the right side. And can you also see some shifts over there, Alberto?
Yeah, it's a wind shift coming from the right, but also later on there will be a wind shift from the left. We need to understand which one will be the stronger. Because at the moment Sweet Sailor is really close, but if CCO is getting too far away from the group, that will be trouble for the Swedish team.
Yeah, because we can basically say that the you don't want to be the last boat.
Yeah,
That's the goal
exactly.
for this entire thing. But also,
Absolutely.
you need to be able to reach them, right? And how far behind can you actually be?
You have 32 meters you needed to be in behind to be far away from the dirty air. So in this way, I believe the 22 meters that they are at the moment are still good enough to Sweet Sailor and CCO to be in the lead over there, to be close with the lead. Can
Yeah.
you tell me something about what you think about CCO? Because at the moment she can do it without attack, but Sozi needed to do a double tack.
Yes, exactly. So it depends a little bit if Sosi can reach her or not, because at the moment we have Sweet Sailor managed to catch up with Sosi. So
Hmm.
I just have a wild idea that probably Lorenzo is gonna go back and help her out a little bit. Because now it's looking a little bit tricky for the Italian team compared to with the start, where you guys did a brilliant start.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think it's coming back on the downwind or is coming back on the upwind at the end of the almost at the end of the race?
I would say it's coming back on the upwind because it's
Okay,
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see here where they're heading. We have
actually,
Lorenzo is still in the starboard
yeah,
advantage. That's always a good thing to have.
yeah, and they're fighting to reach that wind path. But as you can see, he is attacking CCO. CCO answering back to the attack. And what's the name
And
of
now it's gonna be
CCO at the moment? Can you tell me her name
uh,
or something about her?
yes. So Cecilia Olsson, she's a good e-sailor. She was actually the best Swedish female player on the Swedish Championship. So that's good. And she's also done quite much match racing. So I think she's got a few cards to play here and there.
Mhm.
And yeah, so hopefully for our sake, they're gonna be managing to hold on to these positions. Because even though it's looking tight between Saucy and Swede Sailor, I would say Swede Sailor just got a penalty on Saucy there, so
Yeah.
gonna be interesting. See where all are heading.
Yeah, and this is really interesting because Lorenzo can help Sozi in the upwind later than that, later. And the Sweet Sailor need to make sure that Sozi is in the back. CCO needed to push Lorenzo away. So it will be a nice one. I'm focusing on a Sweet Sailor. Can you tell me something about him?
So Swede Sailor, he's from the south of Sweden. He's sailing quite much. He
Mm-hmm.
actually does a lot of Dragon and Express and smaller keel boats. But he also had a little incident on our big offshore race this summer where he crashed in a wave. He was on a small race boat and broke a couple of ribs and got helicopter lift.
Wow,
So yeah, he's a tough guy. He doesn't give up.
I believe that.
But and now it's getting really close between Saucy and Swede Sailor.
Yeah, and
What would you?
but there is no overlap at the moment, so Sozi do not have the right of way. You can see it from the red circle on Sweet Sailor. So Sozi trying the best to accelerate going downwind and then getting closer to the stern of Sweet Sailor, but I believe at the moment she is not managing to do the overlap.
And then it all comes back to Lorenzo, I guess, for the
Yeah,
upwind.
definitely Lorenzo, it will be coming down, hitting both CCO and Sweet Sailor. That's why CCO need to keep the lead, need to go really fast to make sure that she is ahead at least of Sozi. So she has at least one Italian e-sailor behind, and then wait for going back to help Swedish Sailor on the upwind leg. As you can see, Swedish Sailor try and maneuver. Lorenzo, though, is slightly smarter, but not much smarter, because at the moment he give the penalty to Swedish Sailor, so he will be in the lead over there, and penalty for Susie too. Wow, this is
Ooh,
an amazing start for the Swedish. I believe it's really
and
hard for the Italian now to come back.
for sure. And also they're sailing into the stronger winds now, both CCO and Swede Sailor.
Yeah,
That's and that's what I was always feeling with this with the match racing with the star. It's never over until it's actually over.
yeah.
So many things can change all the time. But now I'm seeing a slightly left shift, maybe.
Yeah,
What's
do you
your
think
idea?
Lorenzo can match it? Can catch Swede? No, he's far behind,
Yeah.
and I believe it's a first victory for the Swedish team here. There's no coming back from that.
Now it's too close. Now it's about 120 meters left for
Yeah,
Swede Sailor and CCO.
yeah. Lorenzo pushed too much on that mark. He should have been more careful, because when you have the last one before the last mark, you need to make sure that you do not get any penalty, even if you are giving out. And in this way, Sweden get the first point.
Yeah, that's us being happy and lucky, but also some very, very cool skills. And as I said, CCO, she's a skilled sailor. She has some tricks in her wallet, which she can pull up sometimes
Yeah.
due to her match racing background.
we have a player that oh, it was not joining, but at the moment they're all in. Let's see if they're all moving, and if they're all moving, we are going to start. Yeah, perfect. We are going to enjoy now the 3v3 Ilka with the score of 1 for Sweden. So now we have a 3v3 Ilka. What can you tell us about this kind of boat?
This kind of boat, from far, it looks a bit like the Star, the boat we just used, but much more agile, much faster. So you really, really need to be there. I would say it's more of close to a Nacra or a F50 in the way that it's very agile.
Okay.
You could spin around really fast, and you need to be aware of those stuff. But otherwise, it's interesting. It's one of the Olympic classes, so
Yep.
that's good.
And I believe at the moment with 25 seconds to the start, we are trying to understand how the start is going to look like. If that right wing shift is coming in, Italy have a really huge advantage having two boats near the committee. But to be honest, they're all really early. Nice left up and penalty to Amos Di Benedetto, and actually is a good start for the Swedish. Second start
Yes,
in a
that was
row. Amazing start.
yeah. But I do think the last start you guys were actually a little bit ahead. But this one, Sweden made it really good. So that's
Yes.
interesting to see, and especially how they can be handling this start. We've seen Seabear struggling a little bit, but he still got some free breeze over there. And otherwise, I would say at the moment, Rommel is controlling the field, controlling the fleet kind of nicely.
Yeah.
And
Then
can you tell me about the Italian team then?
yeah,
You got some good sailors.
yeah. Both Movimento Cinque Nodi and Amos Di Benedetto are vice like runner up for the Italian team racing championship. Charizard was 2023 Italian team racing champion. But in two different teams. So at the moment, probably they needed like to figure out how to work well together. And Charizard needed to be getting penalty to Seabear to make sure that Amos Di Benedetto and Movimento Cinque Nodi are fighting against one of between Furan and Rommel. So in that way they can like get the position and try to move on to the next race. To the next leg, sorry. What do you think about the split from Amos Di Benedetto on the right hand side, looking for the right wing shift?
I think it could be a very good one. I'm not sure he's gonna get the win. Oh, now it's actually filling in, so maybe he actually got really, really good timing.
Yeah.
I was a little worried the win is gonna be too late for that, but no, now it's looking good.
And let's see if he can be really, really close with Rommel, because Furan is gone, but Rommel is actually really close. And penalty for Ramos. Penalty for Ramos, rule 13, he tuck, and he get a penalty for that. So this is a really good moment for the Swedish, because they can like run away and have the 1-2. Let's see if Charizard can cover him.
Yes, that's gonna be the big. How do you say? Oh, he is just a little bit ahead, I think.
Yeah, the
Just
Italian
slightly ahead
had
Rommel
to
there.
cover him, and Rommel is actually going faster than Charizard because he's going into the wind, and I believe we have a. I'm
It's
not
looking good for the Swedish team.
Yeah, if the Swedish do not make any mistake, is another victory here, because with 1-2 and 1-3 you always win.
Exactly. It's so I think it's a good start for the Swedish team so far. They've been handling their boats well, and you can always see how tight it is with the small details in the race.
Yeah,
Like Charizard was almost getting the penalty at the upwind mark instead of giving it to Rommel. If he would manage to give that to Rommel, it would be a completely different story.
yeah. We were speaking of a different race, but 54 meters. It's 50 meters now. It's impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if a Charizard is going faster than Roman, because going 9.8
Yeah,
where Roman is 9.6. The Italians behind do not need to cover Charizard, but it's still too late.
yeah. And I can see the Italian team is they're doing it as good as they can, trying to avoid covering Charizard so he can sail freely as much as possible. That's a very important detail in this kind of race when you're trying to catch the one ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Seabear is doing. He's
He
running
needed.
around a little bit.
Yeah. But he's so far away, it's really difficult to.
Now we get a small right-hand shift coming in. There's two Swedish boats in the front are going to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're following that shift already. But Movimento is making a good decision to try to split, because you have to try to do something, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're on an Italian team now, can't just follow the other guys, because then you're never gonna catch them.
Yeah.
But if you make a split, maybe you're lucky. Maybe you get that little private puff and stuff like that, which happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But I must say the Swedish team is looking strong, so I'm so far very happy, but also very polite because you guys are, and humble because you guys are really really strong team. So
No, this is an amazing start. The Italians needs to stop to do this kind of silly mistakes, like the penalty that Amos get, just because he want to push it. He want to give the penalty, and he force it too much. You need to wait more. You need to make sure that you do not do this kind of mistakes.
and same as Lorenzo in the first race. You have to be patient sometimes, but it's easy for us also who's sitting here commentating when people do this. When you're in the race, sometimes you're a little bit like, I just wanna grab him. I just wanna be giving him that little pen sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
So
but
congratulations
so far,
for point number 2 for Sweden. A really really bad start for the Italians, and let's see when they finish. You say 13 seconds is really really long time. And it will be 1-2-6.
she haven't done any race yet, but hopefully she's just gonna join in one of the ones that's coming up.
Yep.
But I think it's gonna be interesting to see. But I do think the Italian team is very strong. But yeah, so far we've seen that the Swedish team has been doing quite well.
I believe Germany is giving a 3-0 to the Swiss right now that is streaming live. And I think we're looking at two, um, two similar races where one team is dominating for the start of the race. Let's see if they can keep it.
Yeah.
36 seconds to the start, penalty for Rommel, but it's so early that doesn't matter.
Yeah. I would say looking at the last 15 seconds is when I usually try to avoid the penalties.
Even at 15 seconds, if you can get a penalty, like can save yourself from a really bad position, like Phyton at the moment, I believe he will be easier for him to find a nice position to start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another penalty for Phyton. Dr. Krul also get a penalty.
Yeah.
Uh, a little bit better the Italians, but not that much. What do you think?
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see here what Rommel is doing. If he decides to follow the two boats to the left, but definitely a better start for the Italians in this race than in the first one.
Mm. Yeah, definitely.
And yeah,
Lorenzo in a dial down
no,
and hit Sea Bear.
ah,
Really aggressive Lorenzo, really want to bring it some point back because he doesn't want to lose. And Rommel at the
no,
moment is in the lead, but the rest of the Swedish team is struggling a little bit.
yeah. I feel that something is moving up. Oh, Sieber got the penalty there.
Yeah, he tried to
So
do the same things that Lorenzo did, but
yeah,
Lorenzo is like doing professionally.
yeah, he's like bulletproof in those ones.
Yeah.
And are we maybe looking at the smaller right shift coming in?
Yep, you're right. You know, the fleet is still really close, not as close as we should think. But Rommel, he can do an amazing mark trap. If he do it properly, he can change the match how it looks. But he has to do
Yeah,
a proper mark trap, no mistake allowed. Probably he's going to do it also in the second mark.
yeah,
Because at this
yeah. No,
first
good.
mark is entering port side, it's dangerous kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit different compared to how you usually do it when you have these N courses. I
Yeah,
think it gives it a lot, very nice extra little how do you say like a spice to the race, which
yeah.
is awesome.
And the problem now, Rommel is in a really, really difficult position because he has to eat one and actually choose right. He choose Mascalzone Sabino.
Yeah,
That is not one of the strongest here, but they still have Luka Kozlovic in the back. That is a really hard sailor to get, and Rommel right now will be fighting for the second position with Lorenzo, I believe. Oh, penalty for
yeah.
Lorenzo.
But here's
So
also again
yeah,
Lorenzo and the marks.
yeah, he
It's
loved the
difficult.
mark.
Yeah,
And at the
I hope
moment,
he's not gonna.
Rommel is in the wind. Moro di Napoli, is it not? Is going 2 knots faster. Still first position for the Swedish at the moment, even if he's covered by Mascalzone Sabino. Now he can jump back on Moro di Napoli and can keep the second position. Everybody needs to go in that path. Luka Kozlovic is against Dr. Krul in the back with a nice fight. Uh, but the one we are missing is Phaeton, actually, that is going at 15 knots while in the front they're going only 14 knots, so it's going 1.5 knot faster.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be catching up a lot.
Yeah.
Python, he's really in the strong wind, and he's soon gonna be able to catch even Lorenzo, I think, on the downwind here. But when you come up to the mark like this, like the Swedish team did, I think you need to make a choice. Are you gonna be letting the two first boats go, or are you actually gonna be trying to
Uh,
keep them?
you know, it's difficult because if the one in the back is Luka Kozlovic, runner, no, third position, the World Championship, former actual Italian Championship in the fleet race, so a really, really insanely strong sailor. It's hard to keep him last and second last, so you cannot have you cannot risk to give them the last two because it's really difficult to keep the last two. What Rommel is doing? Oh, big problem for Rommels.
What is going on for him? Oh no, he lost it.
Yeah,
Uh, not sure.
even Dr. Crew lost on Mascat San Sabino. Now it's harder for the Swedish to come back.
Yes. Uh, However, this is the moment when you actually can start making those choices. Are you going to try to do the dial downs on Mascalzone, or are you actually going to continue sailing?
Yeah,
Because
I
it's in
believe
some
they.
kind of way
Yeah,
uh, either you have to catch Lorenzo, which is going to be very difficult,
yeah,
or you have to be making some kind of magic move to get Rommel to pass Luca, and that's also going to be very tricky. So looking good for the Italian team right now, I would say.
yeah. To be honest, Dr. Krull missed a pretty easy dial down here. That could have been a really relief for the Swedish team for the third point. And now Dr. Krull is bearing away. I'm not sure who to look, if Dr. Krull, Luka Kozlovic, or Sieber, Mascalzone Sabino. Both are really, really interesting. There is an attack from Mascalzone Sabino and penalty for Sieber.
That could be the game-changing penalty, in
Yeah,
my opinion. They are on the lay line and not much more to do. And there's a penalty for Luka Koslovic, but depends on how it went for Dr. Krull. I think it's going to be difficult for the Swedish team right now.
no, it's really difficult because Mascalzone and Sabino have the fourth position, so even if Luka Kozlovic is doing the eighth position, is still a win for the Italian, because they will have 15 points against the.
And here's the
Oh,
comeback,
they will have
you
one,
could
two,
say.
three actually. The Italian one, no, not 1, 2, 4, and they will have 4, 5, 6, and
14
7.
points.
Yeah, 14 points against 22. Comeback for the Italian for this first point of the night.
Do you feel a little bit more relaxed right now?
I'm fine. Actually, you know, I'm not
Yeah.
playing. So for me is
Yes, but they
absolutely
also
fine.
yeah,
Okay.
and you can see it's the small details, like the penalty there, which Sieber got. That
Yeah.
is something which you're going to be suffering from,
Yeah.
even though it's difficult to avoid. But still, it's changes a lot of stuff sometimes. These small things.
Not one of the strongest they can put. So, what do you think about the Swedish one?
I would say the Swedish one, they got a really strong team. You have Alokomor, who been training a lot, and also he was the Swedish champion last year. You have Dirkson, who's been on the podium or close to the podium in every year we've done the Swedish Championship. He's been having a little break from the eSailing for a couple of months, but I think he's been secretly practicing with a second account or something like this because he's never someone to forget about because then he get punished directly. So
Okay.
and now we can even see there's a little spinnaker there, and those are very nice to have in the start
Yeah.
to get a little extra advantage of speed.
Remember that not all the event allow the spinnaker. The Nations Cup is allowing it.
Yeah, and I would say it gives everything a nice little. And you can see here by the motorboat there that the Italian team is doing it really nicely, pushing away some of the Swedish boats.
Yeah, but be careful that the Swedish boat is coming back. Penalty for Charizard, probably another penalty here for the Italians. Penalty also for Movimento Cinque Nodi, and Alocomor did a double kill here. If we go in the gaming
Yeah,
setup.
he's on a killing spree almost.
Yeah. I believe is an amazing start for the Swedish, even with the penalty from of this Dirkesson from JL, and Alocomor is coming back for another kill here.
It was a nice move there by Lorenzo Caputo when Foyle tried to attack, but he put his bow down and give the penalty to Foyle instead. So
And
some nice little
now
moves you can make in this.
winner 20 penalty, and he cannot do much about it. Alokomor now dial down for both of him and Dirkinson. Miscommunication here, and the game changed at the moment. Italians are back for this
Yes.
fourth race of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing move from Charizard. Triple pen here for winner, foiled, and Dirkinson. And Charizard is on fire. I believe is the right word for Charizard, actually.
Exactly. The fire Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Another penalty for winner 20. Charizard is staying behind to give a penalty. Another for Dirkinson. Having the last four Swedish in the last five position. It's really a game changer fight and can do a lot, but he's good, but not sure if he's that good. Amazing race from Charizard for this race that he did. An amazing job.
Yeah. And I think that Charizard is playing his cards really nicely.
Mm-hmm.
He's really like intimidating Alokomor there. So Alokomor is struggling to get back into the game, while Faitan has to fight 4 Italians by himself. That's gonna be tricky because even though Charizard, who is an amazing player, is in the back, the other Italians they're no noobs. They're really really good ones.
Maybe Foiled can give a
Oh,
help, so he could be giving some trouble to the one covering Phyton. Phyton needs to stand still over there and go slowly but surely to the mark. While Lorenzo Caputo is 9.2, Phyton is only 8.9. So it's being covered, but because the cover are really, really, really not that strong and that far, we still have Phyton keeping the lead of the race, but it's not enough.
he really needs to break the. I would say that he would need to give someone a pen there, otherwise he would be struggling.
At the moment, Phyton is a really horrible position because Lorenzo Caputo
Yes,
with the jib is going faster, but penalty for Lorenzo Caputo. So first penalty given
that was a
from
surprise.
Phyton.
Yes, but Faitan would need to stop there and make a mark trap or something similar.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for the Swedish team to get back into the game.
I totally agree with that, but Movimento 5 Nodi is blocking all the Swedish behind Phyton. Not sure what he can do to make sure that Swedish can come back. But definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
dial down penalties, whatever you can do. You need to do
Yes.
it, and you need to
I
do
don't
it
think it's
really
en-
fast. Like
yeah.
now,
I
for
don't think it's
example.
enough with just covering people.
Yeah,
I think you need to do the pens.
and a lot of them, because at the moment, 29 points for the Italian definitely give them the lead.
Uh, I must say that I feels like the Italian team is going to win this one,
Yeah,
but we shall see. The Italian team is looking really strong with about 20, 30 meters left for the 2 first boats, or 3 first.
yeah. So one for the Swedish, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. And not even Charizard can do nothing about it. 9 and 10 for Charizard.
But I would say Charizard did a really good job in this race,
Oh,
basically destroying Alokomor's race and also dragging with him Dirkson and Foiled up there
yeah,
by the marks. That was very nicely played. In the
yeah.
way that you can see Lorenzo doing some nice penalties on other boats, and same with Charizard. So I think that's the future for Fibran if he wants to be taking the last final little step in his sailing. Because you have to do gloves off sometimes.
Yeah. What do you think about the racing area here?
Oh, it's gonna be
Tricky, at least.
interesting. Slightly advantage on the boat end,
Yeah.
and then you're getting a left shift coming down with some
Yeah, but
nice
but with
breeze in the
no
middle.
wind over there, so it's a tricky one
Yeah,
because this boat
yeah,
require wind. To be
yes. So
honest, I do not know.
I would start by the boat end, go a little bit, and then try to tack,
Hmm.
staying in the strong breeze. But at the moment, yeah, feels like the breeze is on the middle right.
Yeah.
That's where it's hiding right now.
Maybe a Locomore is in a great position if you start like in the second line, pushing the Italian away, and then get. Yeah, look here, look at Locomore sneaking in front of the Italian. 5 seconds to the start is going full power. Probably penalty start
Ooh,
for Ludo, I would say. Let me check
yes.
if they give
That's
him the
rule number
penalty
10.
start. No, no penalty start. Really weird.
No, that was rule number 10. But it was close to something you would call a penalty start. But
Yeah. But the penalty start thing is on. At the moment, a great
yeah,
start from the Swedish. The Italians have the last three position. That is never good. And in the top 9 position, we have 6 Swedish and 3 Italian. So at the moment, I will say win for Sweden.
yes. But I must also say you do have Luka Koslovic up there in the top,
Yeah,
and he's not a beginner. He knows what he's doing. He's how do you say a little bit the local rockstar with local knowledge on these ones.
yeah.
So
He's also racing in the 49er. He tried his career in the 49er. So now he's a coach. But telling a 23-year-old when he was younger, he tried the 49er. Seems a little
okay,
bit too much, but um, I think something changed. So it's still for me a Swedish win, but less impressive. I will believe we
yeah,
are under the like 90 something, 70 something for the Swedish that with just a couple of penalties can change everything. Yesterday we
yeah.
saw almost an even match finish in 90-80, and that was impressive. You can actually cannot tell what's going to happen. Remember, this one is not the end course, is the normal course that you should be
Ooh,
running for a fleet. That's why we consider it a fleet where you do not give penalty to the one with the same color of you.
I think that was a bit of a surprise for some of the sailors. Felt like they all were used to the end fleet.
Yeah,
But we do have
exactly.
two Italians in the top.
Yeah, but that's it. And penalty to Luka Kozlovic. Foiled there.
Yes.
No, Dr. Cruz, sorry. No, foiled. Yeah, yeah, foiled. That is Pontus, I believe.
Pontus is controlling
Yeah.
controlling
Movimento 5 nodi.
movement there. Yeah. But
But at
really,
the,
really important to stay in the breeze here, right?
at the moment, I cannot say, to be honest. A lot of Swedish in the lead, and there's a big pack of Italians. There's another big pack of Swedish. Few Italians, Furan and Charizard. So I think it's still too early to call.
Yeah. We can see here it's Swedish boat and Swedish boat and Swedish boat covering each other a little bit.
Yeah.
That's not very good. Villa Locomore and Dirkson. Hopefully get some space from each other. I would say looking in the middle, the Swedish looks quite strong, but the Italians are number one and number two,
Yeah,
and those are two really good positions to keep in a race like this.
yeah,
Especially when
that
we get some small distance, you can sail a little bit freely and not having to stress around all the time.
yeah, but having a four Italian in the last five position, that's really hurting. Having Kozlovic, Charizard, Ludo, Lorenzo Caputo, Mascalzone Sabino
Yeah,
in the back
and
is actually allowing Sweden probably for a win this time.
I think it's
Still,
going to come back to how Winner is going to be handling Lukas Koslovic here on the right side, because if you manage to keep him behind, that would be a little bit of a win for the Swedish team.
yeah. It's really difficult to understand what it will happen because there is a big path on the right. So Luka Kozlovic and the winner are in the right place. They are covering each other. So and also foiled go on Charizard. This kind of stuff are going to hurt the Italians. And you have on the left you have Lorenzo Caputo, and you have also on the all left you have also Ludo, where there is no
And
wind, so they're
Turan,
going one knot less than the other. Probably Furan is going to lose a couple of positions here. But I still believe this one will be a Swedish victories for now. Penalty for Faitan. And to be honest, it's not
forget
really
it.
easy to say.
Ooh, Mascalone got a 16 there. That's
Yeah,
I would say it's a very tricky penalty because it's all about how fast you're,
you're
how aggressive
laughing.
you are to the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, now Sosi and Movimento 5 Nodi need to come back, in my opinion. But they do not make all the points, so I do not actually know.
But we have a little private fight here between Winner and Charizard. They are really fighting hard, covering each other and jibing, trying to catch each other. So it looks like an interesting finish. However, it looks like on the bigger picture, like the Swedish team is doing quite well.
Yeah. So we have 1, 2, 7, 8, and then the Swedish have 9, 10,
This is Swedish win.
11. Yeah, definitely a Swedish win. The 16 and 17 is going to be painful, but not that much. Ooh! I will not tell you, but I will let you know. So we have 81 for the Swedish.
Mm.
Do you know how much you need to win?
No, not straight away.
85. 81 to 90 is like 4-point victory for Swedish. Congratulations here. Amazing
Thank you very
results.
much.
3, 2, 1. Everybody's in. Let's go.
What would you say here? It feels like Lorenzo is very strong, and Amos and Sose. How good are they in this in the team race like this?
I believe there is no stronger team. Lorenzo and Amos really work well together. To be honest, Sosi works better with Rocco than Lorenzo or Amos, but I believe she is one of the strongest sailor. She missed the qualification to Stockholm just because she entered in a gallery while she was playing. She was traveling and
Okay.
playing, and she was almost qualified. She disconnected twice. One in the last race, one in the last two races, And in the race before the last one, she was first, like in the F50, like few meters before the finishing. So she had a really strong
Tight.
choice. At the moment, I see the Italian a little bit more in control, but the Swedish behind can make a trick maneuver here. All in, to
And
be honest, CCO out.
Yes, that was a tight one.
Yeah,
It was really.
and I
But now
told
it's looking
you,
really good for the Italian team.
yeah, it's the problem is there is a right wing shift coming. So at the moment, I believe is winner 20 is going to get the win first. So it's a tactically wrong what the Italians are doing, allowing the winner 20 to sail alone.
And that's the typical thing from the match racing and the team racing scene in the boats on the water, that you always want to be, if you can't decide, stay between your opponents and the next mark.
Yeah,
And I would say the Italian team was going a bit too far to the left side, because this giving the Swedish team a chance to do a little bit of a comeback at the moment.
yeah, definitely winner 20 is in the lead. There is a left wing shift coming, so probably Lorenzo is going to be really, really close. It depends of when the left wing shift enter for winner
And it's
20.
coming now. That was the shift.
Yeah, that's really, really
But
close for both of them.
yeah,
It's really tough
and this
to,
gives the Swedish guys a chance to do a comeback.
yeah. You see how important it is to, what you say, to put yourself between the opponent and the mark. And I believe Amos Di Benedetto is the one that has to stay in the back, while no, maybe Lorenzo and Amos can go for 1 and 3, and Sozi can create a little bit of a havoc behind. Wow, amazing passage from Lorenzo here, avoiding the penalties. Sozi in the back fighting with Dirkinson. At the moment, Sweden is winning this match.
But still a lot of to play for.
Yeah,
I would not say that anything is settled
yeah,
when you got
exactly. Because in one
Lorenzo.
second, Cecil lost the third position, and at the moment, the victory is Italian. They are fighting for 1 point, so not
Yeah,
a major difference between the two teams, like we saw at the start. But you know, still is good for the Italian at the moment.
here is a and here's a very nice position, maybe for a winner. No, he jibes away. Otherwise, you can do this nice thing when he's sneaking up on the boat in front of you and just makes the jibe and gives them the pen.
Yeah. Also, amazing tactic, I believe, from the Italians. Lorenzo is fighting in the back. Amos trying to fly away. So at least they have the first one, and then they will fight for the other position. Sozi is fighting a lot with Dirkinson. Seems she has the position. Laugh up from winner 20, wrong dial up in this case, and this one gives the position to Lorenzo, and Dirkinson, he can only jibe onto Lorenzo.
Yeah. And I'm getting a little bit worried that the communication is not on top from the Swedish team, because it feels like they are not really making all the best moves that's possible at the moment. Here comes Lorenzo. He's going to try to go up. Oh, no, not all the way. But look at this. Who's coming from the inside? CCO.
Yeah,
That was a comeback.
that was an amazing comeback.
Yeah, and if she plays her cards well, she can even pass Lorenzo maybe here for the.
So
If
Lorenzo
she,
is blocking winner and only winner because Dirkinson is fine. And Cecile
yeah,
is ready. Cecile is ready, and no penalty for Lorenzo. Yes, penalty for
or
Lorenzo.
was it? Yeah. Lorenzo loves the penalties sometimes.
And Sozi actually she managed to pull herself underneath the opponent. Amos Oh, but here's the problem for the Swedish. Penalty for winner. Penalty for winner,
Yes.
free friendly fire here.
The friendly fire is not something you want to be looking for when it's so tight like it is right now.
Yeah. A simple mistake that can cost a lot. And now Amos is covering, I believe, Dirkinson. Yeah. So Lorenzo has the possibility for a dial down on Cecil.
Oh, that was nicely done by Lorenzo.
Yeah. I do not understand why Amos went away, to be honest. He should be staying on
No.
Dirkinson, but... Wow, another
Oh,
penalty from
nice.
Lorenzo, yeah. Impressive
Lorenzo is
job.
playing his cards really nicely right now, I must say.
Yeah.
He's doing all the good stuff that needs to be done. But let's see if he can manage the third time now.
I believe now they just needed to cover because Sozi had a huge comeback.
Yeah, Sose is back in the game, you could say.
Yeah.
And it's coming a huge left shift. So it's looking difficult for CCO at the moment to do any kind of comeback. I would say Italians are looking strong at the moment.
Yeah.
There is like this little, you need to do some pen, give away the pen sometimes, which Winner wasn't doing. He's getting a pen instead, and then you are struggling.
Yeah.
So I believe this is going to be a win for the Italian team.
Yeah.
I guess looking strong.
1-2.
With about 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. But it was a very, very interesting race. A lot of big changes back and forth and so on.
Yeah, that's
Both
why I
teams
love
really was fighting hard.
That's why I love the Inshore course, to be honest. It's an amazing things that the Virtual Regatta pull off this year, and we are really happy that we have this kind of stuff. So 3-3. In the moment he can move and move the boat. Yeah.
You need some strong grinders so you can get some hydraulic pressure up in the boat.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think of this last match?
This is gonna be this can go anywhere. Seabear, Furan, Dr. Krull and Alokomor are very, very strong in F50, but also Luka Koslovic and Amos, and they are the top players in the world.
Yeah, even Moro Di Napoli was the ranking leader. He is one of the fastest, and JL, his best boat is the F50. He trained a lot in the F50. I believe that he is a really huge addiction for the Italian team. Really, really good team for the Italian. Two that are really, really fast runner. Two that can hit hard, Luca and Amos. What do you think about the Swedish?
Oh, right now it looks like they get a couple of penalties, but I would say they are very good at this, especially Alokomor, who's he can work havoc among the other teams. He's so good at giving penalties to others. So and here comes the start. Looks like could be an interesting start.
Oh, two penalties, three penalties for the Italians.
Yeah, that's not the start you want. Now it's all up to Luka Koslovic. What can he actually do?
If he do not get a penalty from Alokomar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did no, he did a wrong mistake. 1, 2, 3 for the Swedish.
Good. Yeah. And then the Furan there in the back who made a jibe. He shouldn't have done that because it's really, really preferred to continue going to the strong wind. But yeah. Let's see. He's going to have the starboard advantage entering here. Maybe he can catch some of the boats. But right now it's looking really good for the Swedish team.
It's looking almost impressive, my friend. Penalty for Moro Di Napoli. This is the cherry on the top for Sweden.
Yes.
So chances of Sweden winning this match are insanely high. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only Luka Kozlovic there that can do something, and he needed to give 2 penalties to bring back the Italians to a certain level. And Dr. Krul is ahead.
Yeah.
The only one behind is Furen, and that will be a tough
but
one.
also looking at specifically Luka Kozlovic, if there's any player who can do this from the Italian team, I would say that is him.
Yeah.
He's you see now, he's bringing the Italians back into the game, I think. He's probably going to do a little dial down there. Give a pen. Yeah, there came the pen. So now the Italians are back in the game.
Yeah, let's see if JL can cross. JL can cross. He is on the ley line at the moment. Luka Kozlovic needed to wreak more havoc because Moro di Napoli get a penalty for the boundary. That is really, really, really costly for the Italians. Amos Di Benedetto is overtaking Furan. Dr. Cruz, sorry, but get a penalty and is going straight. Penalty for Furan too. It's a tough call at the moment.
Yes.
It's 3 versus 2 here, Swedes against Italians. Luka Kozlovic is really, really close. It should have been gone straight, to be honest, but right now he can go faster, and the last position are for the Swedish.
Yeah, so as I said, I think it's someone who can turn these tables around. It's Luka Kozlovic, and he's been doing a brilliant job so far, in my opinion. He's really been playing all the cards exactly the way he should be doing it. And now it's getting to the level where should the Swedish guys turn around?
Yeah, exactly. But the JL is really close to them.
Yeah.
To be honest, at the moment, Moro di Napoli is covering Luka Kozlovic. So there is a problem for Luka. He's slowing down a lot. And he needs help from the rest of the team. Let's see if Amos going for a dial down. Yeah, but he missed. Luka Kozlovic is in a really dangerous position here. He can pass in the middle. No, he cannot. This is going trickier now.
That could also be a game changer.
Amos Di Benedetto tuck in front of Furan, and now Moro di Napoli need to go back to Dr. Crew.
Yeah, because this in the F50, it's really good to throw some bad air at the other guys, but the really game changer is when he gives someone a pen.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Look at Moro di Napoli against Dr. Krul. He's in the middle. He's in a really, really bad position. Let's see if the Italian can get the best out of this situation. Amos Di Benedetto is laughing up, but Furan is coming really, really fast from behind. Moro di Napoli, I do not understand why he's running away so fast. Luka Kozlovic is here. Give a penalty. Yes, penalty to Dr. Krul because was overlapped inside the mark. And
very nicely done.
This is nicely done, but what a match here. What do you think?
By far the most interesting one. And this is where it all ends up. Like, who's
now,
going to be winning?
It's not finished. Italian get the first because Alokomor and Sieber are coming back. Look at the madness here. And actually finish 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Italian. But definitely it was not what happened during the race.
No. I think it was, in my opinion, this race was thanks to Luka Kozlovic, who made some amazing moves there.
Yeah.
To manage to get the Italian team back into the game.
This was another insane race for us. What do you think?
I think the Italian team was looking really, really strong in these races. And what's the final score now?
The final score is 4-3. And for Italy, so congratulations Italy that get the point at the last minute of the last second of the race. nerve-wracking for me. I'm not sure about you. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It was a very interesting race, and you can see there are some very highly skilled e-sailors in this race,
Yeah.
which are able to pull off some really, really cool tricks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. I'm a
At
big
the
fan of
Yeah,
these kind of type races.
me too. We have really really amazing races. We have the J70 was amazing. The F50 that was amazing. We had a boring Ilka 3v3, I believe, and a kind of boring J70 for the same reason on the opposite terms, but except that all the other races super amazing, and I believe this brings Sweden a strong point when we are speaking about going to the semifinals. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is what we need to be the top four, because at the moment it feels like France, Italy, and Japan is having a little bit of a head start.
Yeah,
But this is the kind of points that we as a Swedish team need to be grabbing to have a good chance of getting among the top four,
yeah,
and in that kind of way, getting to a nicer way to the next round.
yeah.